Hey guys, Tom here, I hope you're well. Here today doing a review of the Triumph Scrambler 1200 XE. This test bike has been kindly lent to me by the guys over at Laguna Motorcycles in Maidstone. So if this is a bike you're interested in, please do give them a call and they will sort you out. So first off, looks of the bike. I mean, it looks, to me, absolutely gorgeous. It looks fun. I love this exhaust up high. I think that's, to me, what really makes this bike stand out as something a little bit different. Comes in a couple of different color options. You've got the blue and the black one here, and you also have a white and green option. The tires, we've got the 21-inch at the front, spoked wheels, and then you've got a 17-inch at the back. At the front, we've got these nice Showa inverted forks, giving 250 millimeters of travel on them as well. And then we've got the O-lins on the back. The exhaust, as I've mentioned, I mean, look at it. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. You then got this heat protector part here. So your legs not actually getting too much heat when you're riding around. Through traffic, you get a little bit if you're stationary for a while, but as you're moving, no problems at all. Passenger on the back might be a different story. Not too sure about that, traveling two up on it, but again, you know, see what you think. I mean, this is the sort of bike for me that I don't know if I'd go two up on it anyway. I mean, it's the sort of thing, having ridden it around a little bit, it's the kind of thing I'd want to be on my own, going off on some adventures, tearing down some green lanes. I mean, I think it's a beautiful bike. Let's start her up so you can hear the exhaust as well. It's a keyless ignition. Got the key in my pocket, so let me just make sure I get this right. So it's one click to turn her on. As a Triumph, I'm going to have to hold the clutch in to start her up. Can I do this with two hands or with one hand? So there we go, starting up. A really wonderful tone coming out from the exhaust. Not an exhaust I'd personally want to change. You can get some Arrow end caps which do change this tone slightly. I've not heard it myself, but I'm sure there'll be some videos around there on it. But stock exhaust on this, I think sounds great. Let me get a bit closer so you could maybe pick some of that up on the mic. Really good tone. And as I've been riding around in it, there's been no feeling of can I be heard enough, so on and so forth. I mean, it sounds good. Give it a little rev. Great sounding bike. Great sounding bike. The TFT screen that we've got on it as well. Let's just close it down. TFT screen is as you'd expect. I mean, it's got all the things you want on it. You can also connect it up to your phone as well. You've also got I don't think it's out yet, but you're going to be able to control your Bluetooth, control your GoPro with the screen as well, which is coming in an update. That update is apparently quite easy to set up as well. You can do it through your phone, the guy was telling me in the shop, which is quite good. You've got heated grips as standard. You've got cruise control as standard. Cruise control, not sure really. I think, you know, lovely to have, but you know, I wouldn't want to be taking this bike on the motorway for long periods of time. Dual carriageways, maybe, you know, comfortable at 60. You are getting a lot of wind hitting you in the chest at around that speed. So, you know, obviously, you know, take it for a test ride to see what you think. This for me would be a bike for fun, for the weekends, maybe going on some adventures, green laning, that sort of thing. What we'll do is I've already taken it for a bit of spin and done some filming. I'm going to take it for more of a spin now and run through some of my thoughts on it before having to, unfortunately, take it back to the shop. But I mean, look at it, it is beautiful. Beautiful. So frustratingly, my video that I recorded just after that, the GoPro corrupted the file and I don't have it to use and show you guys, unfortunately, which is where I was doing most of my talking about how I was getting on with the bike. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a voiceover that I'm going to put together with some of the footage I got earlier on, which should answer some of the questions and run through some of the points that I wanted to discuss. So first off, the seating position of the bike. It's a tall bike. It's 870mm height, and it weighs 207 kilograms dry. Now, I'm 6 foot, I've got an inside leg measurement of 33 inches, and I felt very comfortable on the bike. I could put my feet down absolutely fine, and that's both feet down, and I could also lean the bike over and put 1 foot down as well, and it didn't feel like the bike had too much weight to do that, and it didn't feel like I was unstable in any way. I spoke to some other guys who are a bit shorter who've ridden the bike as well, and they also didn't have any problems with it. So that seat height sounds a bit high, but I think you'll be surprised if you are sort of like the 5'9", 5'10" and above mark. I think you probably could be okay with it. It's just a case of getting on the bike and seeing what you think. They do also have the shorter version of the bike as well, the XC for Charlie version, which may be something to look at. So with that seat position, you are in a very commanding position on the bike, and you can see out quite easily what's going on, which made things like filtering through town and moving around traffic absolutely fine. The bike felt very comfortable, very responsive, and able to get through town very easily, which was good. The engine power of the bike, it's a very, very fun engine. It's 89 brake horsepower with 110 newton meters of torque, and that comes in at just under 4,000 RPM. So the slightest twist of the throttle and you're off. It's great. You feel that power straight away pulling you along, and it was a dream. Here's a section of video where I do get very excited on the bike, as you will hear. The audio does crack a bit, so what I've done is I've put some subtitles on there so you can sort of see, so you can hear clearly what I'm saying.
Oh, I think this is definitely what this bike was made for. These sorts of roads, you know, I've got tracks either side, which part of me is wanting to just head down them. However, you know, it's not my bike, so you know, I'm a bit reluctant to do that. But engine braking there is good, not too intimidating. Again, went over that manhole cover. Oh, I'm smiling a lot on this bike. Bit of brake there. Yeah, went over that manhole cover, and you know, the suspension just, yeah, you don't even notice it. Just gobbles it up. Ooh. Just testing the brakes there. I mean, very easy to ride.
It makes me smile again watching that, because I can remember the smile I had on my face when I was riding it. It was just an absolute dream. It felt very much like when I was a kid, when I was about 11, 12 years old. My dad came home and he bought himself a new mountain bike, you know, a big adult mountain bike, and I went out and had a ride on it, and ended up riding it quite a lot actually, and I think I kind of pretty much borrowed that off him for good, and it was that sort of feeling of, you know, having a bike that can go anywhere, can do anything, and just wants to be ridden across fields and taken all over the place. That's the sense I got on this bike a bit, but obviously, you know, translated for a 36-year-old guy riding these days. It was a lot of fun, and it really was screaming. I didn't take it off-road. I would love to have taken it off-road, but you know, that just wouldn't have been the right thing to do with my riding experience and the fact I've just borrowed this bike off Lagunas. But it is a lot of fun on the road, and I can tell it will be a lot of fun off-road. One of the things that probably would go against the bike, I mentioned about the cruise control when I was doing the walk around. it's got cruise control, but as soon as you're up to say 60 miles per hour, the amount of wind that's hitting you, it is quite a lot, you know, and not something that I would be, it's not a bike that I'll be comfortable on the motorway on, you know, that sort of 70, 80 mile per hour mark. I don't think personally myself I'll be comfortable with that. You may be different, you know, try it out, see what you think, but for me, I quite like a bit of protection ahead of me just to reduce that wind. I think what the bike would be fantastic for is, you know, going on those sort of adventures where you're going to be off-road quite a bit, you're going to be green laning, and going on from there really. I think, you know, you can't have a lot of luggage on it. I'm planning a trip to Scotland later on this year, and this sort of bike in some ways could be great for that sort of trip, taking out the journey up to Scotland itself, you know, because you could pack very light. You know, you're not going to be able to get panniers on it. I think they do a pannier for the left side, but on the right side, because of where you've got that big exhaust, you're not going to be able to get a pannier on it, but you could strap a bag to the back and maybe have a pannier on the left side if you wanted as well, and you could literally just green lane all the way through Scotland, having an absolute blast of a time. And I think that's what this bike kind of is made for, is the way I was looking at it. It's made for those sorts of off-road adventures, but it's also made so that you can take it on-road as well. And on-road it is completely capable from my perspective, apart from the motorway side of things. But, you know, when you're talking about getting around town, getting out in the countryside, getting to those green lanes originally to go and have some fun, I think it's great. It looks fantastic, it sounds fantastic. I think it is a really wonderful, special bike, and something that I would suggest, if you know you're interested in it, you know, get out, have a test ride of it, and see what you think. 'Cause it is something a little bit special, I think. I want to say again, another big thank you to the guys at Lagunas. If you are in the Maidstone area, please do pop in and say hello to them. They're a great bunch of guys. I'm sure they'll be able to sort you out a test ride of this bike if it's something you're interested in. If you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up, comment and subscribe. I will be doing more bike review videos, hopefully without the technical problems that I've had on this one. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.